Humanity was supposed to be ordinary. They came from an unremarkable planet orbiting a relatively young star in a nondescript galaxy arm. When the Galactic Concord catalogued Earth, the assessment was routine, a world with sapient beings not yet worthy of serious attention. The humans had just stumbled into the atomic age, with spaceflight in its infancy. They were noisy, violent, and chaotic, but that wasn't unusual. What made them remarkable, though no one realized it yet, was their unyielding knack for defying expectations. The first time the Concord became aware of humans on a galactic scale was the incident at Zarnak Station. It began when Captain Trellix of the Oxarian freighter Glimmering Tide found a human stowaway among the crates of nutrient gel. The boy, barely out of adolescence by human standards, had smuggled himself aboard using little more than cunning and determination. Trellix intended to eject him at the nearest airlock, but the boy's pleading and the captain's curiosity stayed his hand. How had a primitive managed to board an interstellar vessel without detection? Trellix interrogated him in the cargo bay, surrounded by the hum of containment fields and the tang of disinfectant. The boy, who introduced himself as Max, was unapologetically forthright. He had hacked into the port's security system, bypassed biometric scans, and hidden himself in a supply container. All to explore what lay beyond his home planet. Why? Trellix asked, baffled. Your kind barely understands quantum mechanics. What could compel you to risk everything to leave your world? Max grinned. Because it's there. Those 3 words would ripple through the galaxy in the years to come. For humans, it seemed, the question wasn't, why take the risk, but rather, why not? The Concord initially dismissed humanity as a minor curiosity. Their technology was laughably primitive, their understanding of the universe rudimentary. Yet, time and again, humans demonstrated an uncanny ability to punch above their weight class. When an experimental gravitational weapon malfunctioned on the research station Vorthax Prime, it was a human engineer who devised an impromptu solution using little more than duct tape and a wrench. When the warlike Z'Arathai swarm threatened Concord worlds, human pilots volunteered en masse to join the defense, often flying outdated ships salvaged from junkyards. Their improvisation and sheer audacity turned the tide of battles that should have been unwinnable. But it wasn't just their resourcefulness that made humans extraordinary. It was their capacity for empathy and connection. They formed bonds with species that others deemed untouchable. The cold and calculating Iraq, a species of crystalline entities, found unlikely allies in humans who found beauty in their refractive forms and communicated through vibrations. The warlike Nalkari, whose society revolved around dominance, learned the concept of cooperation through human diplomacy and shared meals. Even the enigmatic Velex, whose motives and actions baffled the Concord for millennia, admitted a grudging respect for humanity's relentless curiosity. The Galactic Concord's true reckoning with humanity came during the Krellin crisis. The Krellin, a nomadic species of biotechnologists, had unleashed a virulent plague that threatened to consume entire ecosystems. Concord scientists worked tirelessly to develop a countermeasure, but the Krellin adapted faster than any known species. Worlds fell, one after another, their biospheres turned to sludge. The situation was declared hopeless. Enter humanity. When Concord High Command proposed a quarantine of infected worlds, the humans refused to accept it. Instead, they launched Operation Wildfire, a desperate, multi-pronged effort to contain and eradicate the plague. They deployed fleets of retrofitted civilian ships, piloted by volunteers, to deliver experimental counteragents directly into the heart of infected zones. Thousands of humans perished in the effort, but they succeeded where the Concord's most advanced technologies had failed. The Krellin themselves, impressed by humanity's relentless ingenuity in self-sacrifice, agreed to a truce. They shared their knowledge of biotechnological adaptation, leading to a golden age of scientific collaboration. Humanity's rise didn't come without controversy. Many within the Concord resented their ascendants, seeing them as reckless upstarts who defied established norms. The High Council debated for decades whether humanity's inclusion in the Concord was a mistake. But as centuries passed, it became clear that humans brought something invaluable to the galactic community, a willingness to challenge the status quo, to ask uncomfortable questions, to push boundaries and inspire others to do the same. In the end, the galaxy didn't just accept humanity, it celebrated them. Not because they were the strongest or the smartest, but because they were, quite simply, unstoppable. They weren't afraid to fail, to dream, to hope. And in a universe vast and indifferent, that made all the difference. Humanity's story within the Galactic Concord didn't end with their acceptance. It merely marked the beginning of a new chapter, one where their influence rippled outward in ways no one could have foreseen. The humans' insatiable curiosity led them to push the boundaries of known space. Where others saw peril, they saw possibility. Beyond the Veil Nebula, where ancient star charts marked the region as a no-go zone, humanity established the first outpost, naming it Frontier's Grace. They discovered the nebula's peculiar energy fields, which had scrambled navigation systems for centuries, could be harnessed to create new forms of propulsion. The discovery revolutionized galactic travel, reducing distances that once took years to traverse into mere months. Yet, it wasn't just their technological contributions that left a mark. Humanity introduced new philosophies and cultural exchanges that reshaped the fabric of the Concord. The concept of art, as humans understood it, a blend of emotion, chaos, and beauty, fascinated species that had never considered self-expression as anything but frivolous. Human music, in particular, resonated deeply with the crystalline Iraq, whose refractive forms vibrated in harmony with human compositions. A simple lullaby composed by a human child became a galactic phenomenon, calming disputes during interspecies negotiations. Not all stories of humanity's impact were positive, however. Their reckless tendencies often brought chaos. The orbital incident over Draxos 7, where a human mining operation accidentally triggered a tectonic upheaval, led to stricter regulations on resource extraction. And humanity's tendency to question authority sparked unrest in species long accustomed to hierarchical rule. The Bailiff autarky, once unchallenged in its dominion, saw its first major revolution after human ideals of democracy and self-determination infiltrated its borders. But humanity also proved adept at cleaning up their messes. After the Draxos 7 disaster, human engineers worked alongside the planet's native population to stabilize the tectonic shifts, converting the devastated region into a lush expanse of bioengineered forests. When their ideals caused unrest, they didn't shy away from the consequences, often mediating and guiding societies towards solutions that preserved cultural integrity while embracing change. The culmination of humanity's impact came during the Eclipse War. The ancient Starborn collective, thought to be myth, returned from the galactic fringes, intent on reclaiming their perceived dominion over the Concord. Their ships, massive and bristling with incomprehensible technology, obliterated fleets with ease. Entire worlds fell silent as their quantum disruptors rendered communication and travel impossible. The Concord's forces fractured under the pressure. Once again, humanity refused to yield. Rather than face the Starborn directly, they turned to their unique strengths, creativity and collaboration. Human scientists worked tirelessly alongside Concord allies to reverse engineer captured Starborn technology. Their pilots devised daring strategies that exploited minute flaws in the enemy's seemingly perfect formations. And their diplomats, often underestimated, brokered alliances with species long thought neutral or hostile. In the final battle above the shattered moon of Eloria, humanity's flagship, Endeavor Eternal, led a coalition of Concord vessels in a desperate gambit. Max, now Admiral Maxwell Carter, issued the command to overload the ship's experimental core, creating a gravitational pulse that disrupted the Starborn's fleet-wide coordination. The maneuver cost his life and the lives of thousands aboard the Endeavor Eternal, but it turned the tide. The Starborn, disoriented and divided, retreated beyond the galactic rim. Admiral Carter's name became synonymous with sacrifice, and the Eclipse War cemented humanity's place as both protector and innovator within the Concord. Statues of Carter now stand alongside monuments to countless others who shaped galactic history, a reminder that greatness is achieved not by power or dominance but by the courage to stand firm in the face of the impossible. Centuries later, humanity continued to surprise. They reached into dimensions others feared to explore, made contact with entities that existed beyond the constraints of time, and shared the lessons learned with their galactic brethren. Through it all, their defining trait endured, an unrelenting desire to seek, to learn, and to grow. And so, humanity became a beacon, a species that reminded the galaxy of its infinite potential. They weren't extraordinary because of where they came from, but because of where they were willing to go. For humanity, the journey was never just about survival. It was about discovery, connection, and the belief that even in the vast cold expanse of the cosmos, the smallest spark could light the way. Millennia passed, and humanity's role within the Galactic Concord evolved. No longer the newcomers, they became the architects of the Concord's future. Their worlds thrived, blending alien cultures into vibrant, harmonious metropolises. Planets once thought uninhabitable blossomed under human terraforming ingenuity. Entire generations of Concord species spoke Earth dialects, danced to human rhythms, and embraced humanity's boundless imagination. Yet humanity never stopped pushing forward. They initiated the first Unity projects, missions designed to bridge the gaps between even the most disparate civilizations. One such project involved translating the thought patterns of the enigmatic Lumini, a species of pure energy, into physical forms that could interact with the material world. This breakthrough created new possibilities for interdimensional trade, art, and diplomacy. But with progress came new challenges. As humanity delved deeper into the mysteries of existence, they uncovered truths that shook even their unflinching optimism. A discovery made in the Anoran Rift, a region of twisted spacetime, revealed remnants of civilizations older than the galaxy itself. These ancients had vanished, leaving only cryptic warnings etched into neutron stars, beware the singularity beyond. Despite the ominous message, humanity pressed on, leading a joint Concord expedition to uncover the truth. What they found was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a vast, sentient construct spanning galaxies, its purpose unknown. The Concord named it the Ecliptarch, and it communicated in bursts of light and gravitational waves. At first, the Ecliptarch seemed benevolent, sharing knowledge that advanced science by centuries. But as humanity and their allies began to integrate its technology, a pattern emerged. Worlds that adopted Ecliptarch systems started to lose autonomy, their civilizations subtly rewired to serve the enigmatic entity's goals. The Concord teetered on the brink of collapse as distrust spread. Humanity, undeterred by the danger, sought a way to confront the Ecliptarch. They gathered their allies, old and new, forging a coalition united by trust and resilience. Together, they devised the Resonance Accord, a technology that harmonized the frequencies of countless species' minds and spirits. This unity of thought, something uniquely inspired by humanity's ideals, created a collective force strong enough to confront the Ecliptarch on its own terms. In the final confrontation, deep within the singularity beyond, humanity and the Concord Coalition confronted the Ecliptarch's true nature. It was not a singular entity but a symphony of countless absorbed minds seeking to preserve existence at any cost. Realizing the danger of their course, the Coalition offered the Ecliptarch a choice: to join the Concord willingly, retaining individuality in collaboration, or to face obliteration. The gamble paid off. For the first time in its vast existence, the Ecliptarch chose cooperation. It shared its wisdom without coercion, becoming a guide rather than a ruler. The Concord, now stronger than ever, began an era of unparalleled exploration and understanding, charting new galaxies and dimensions under the Ecliptarch's watchful mentorship. And through it all, humanity remained the heart of the Concord. Their story, of courage, curiosity, and an unyielding desire to connect, spread to the furthest reaches of existence. Even as new civilizations joined the Concord, humanity's legacy endured as the species that dared to ask not just, what's out there, but, who can we become together? The galaxy remembered their journey not as a tale of domination, but of unity. The smallest spark of humanity had indeed lit the way, proving that even in the boundless dark, the light of hope could shine eternal.